She started before me. I think she started in 2012, and I started in 2013. And I actually started because I think I had been laid off from one of the jobs I did a lot of traveling with. And one of the first group that we started, as you can see, is Be Smooth, okay? And that was run by Marcus Be Smooth. And so we want to tell you guys that because we've been in every group that you know of in this area. So we went through the complete program and we decided, well, I jumped out there first and I went on down to Purple Charlotte because I saw the way them folks was moving. So I said, you know, I'm all about growing and elevating and getting more knowledge and moving. Now, during that time, we also work with Smooth Grooves. So we were there taking classes at the same time while we were traveling to Charlotte. And when I say we traveled, we were going 1, 2, and sometimes 3 times a week. Okay, so that is an hour and a half round trip coupled with 2 or 3 hours of dancing. Teaching, getting taught, and then dancing. Okay, then coming back and practicing. Okay, and with Smooth Grooves, we were actually performance dancing for them as well. Okay. Then, well, at the same time, Purple Charlotte Steppers, and that's where we met my mentor, well, a few of them, Anthony Simpson. He's my dance mentor right here, as well as Malik. Malik was our beginner instructor. Mike Way is not here. Mike was our intermediate instructor. And right there, we're in our graduation for our intermediate class. And, you know, we were fiending to go to advanced. And they kept us for 20 weeks in there until we kept learning because they didn't want to release us to Anthony until we knew what we were doing. And then when we got there, they said, no, you got to go to Monday class. We're like, we're going Monday class. Oh, you were right here. And they said, man, shut up and come to Monday. Lo and behold, when we walked into that class, we realized we were with the best of the best. We had made it. We were all the performance dancers that we was goo-eyed over. And so that right there is our first performance dance that Anthony was teaching us while we were in that Monday class. And we performed that in Fayetteville.
Hence the reason, actually Anthony is the reason why John is my dance partner.
Yes.
He came up to the car, we realized that we kept doing the same routines, like week after week. He comes to the car like, hey, Kenyon, John's gonna be your partner. I was like, oh, okay. That's fine. And we've been connected at the hip ever since.
Right. Yeah, we hadn't even, it wasn't like, I said, oh yeah, we'd be great working together. It just, they threw us together. And then that was before we actually competed for the first time. So this slide right here, it shows that this is our first ballroom competition. And this was the purple competition. Now we actually came in second. However, we were at a cookout just recently and the guy that won said, we won. Look, we got a second highest standing ovation. And all of a sudden, I choked, I locked up when I heard, oh, we're in second place. What? I got all them dips and spins, are you kidding me? Well, we learned about the politics of dancing and all you got to put sometimes dancing into the ballroom. Because we were doing the technical stuff. And we were great at that. We had to adapt, right? But actually it worked out better that we actually came in second because we probably wouldn't have formed the dance group that we have today, right? And then Miss Oliver begged us to start teaching. There she go right there. She kept saying, I got these people that want to learn. I wasn't trying to go teach. And I said, man, I ain't trying to do this. She kept saying, no, they want to learn. I'm like, okay. But I said, me and Kenya got together and said, look, what we're going to do is we're going to do it right. Right? We're going to start this as a business. Put it into LLC. Do all those business requirements. And then we found a venue. And then we actually started in Burlington. And then we found a spot that we're at in Greensboro right now. Okay? Our first couple, unfortunately, the man we had with us, he passed away. But he actually passed away on the dance floor. He was dancing. He was trying to get it, yeah. And so we put together the logo, and then we start bringing in our students, right? And so we dance everywhere, and we also bring our students with us everywhere too. So that's another thing. So we don't just teach them in our class, we go on field trips. We take them to BEG, we take them to Purple Charlotte, so they can hear the same thing come out of our mentors' mouths that come out of our mouths. So they can know, like, oh, they really meant that. Yes. When we put you in a position, we say, move across that lane, we're not joking. Then they get down, they go with Anthony, or they sit there with Mike, they get across the lane. Don't stop moving your feet, right? If you mess up, don't stop moving. Nobody knows you messed up till you stop, right? I actually showed a demonstration that we did, and I messed up the last section of it. It wasn't any of our competitions, the demonstration we were doing. And I challenged everybody to watch the video, find out where I made a mistake. Nobody could find it because I didn't stop moving. All you can see is my eyes got real big. And I'm in the middle like, oh my God, what am I supposed to be? I just kept going like, oh, okay, I'm listening to the cue. And when the cue said, do-do-do-do, boom, I just hit the deck like, yeah! Messed up the section. But here's another example that we go and we learn. It's Bobby Green. We learned Greystone from him. We travel all over the place. So we put the miles in. And we give a lot of goodwill as we go along. Actually, had Bobby Green jump from his table. He saw I was about to do something with the kidney on the floor, but I stopped and didn't do it. He literally jumped from his table, ran to the stage. No, give it to me. I was like, what? What you was getting ready to do? You got my mouth all ready for that move. I want to see it. I said, okay. So I went ahead and turned around the dip. It was a dip I was doing, and then I rocked on it. So I put in the dip and I started doing that. And I started pointing to the crowd like, get it too, and he was just like, yeah, that's what I want to see. So teaching or showing your own individual expression, even in the construct of learning something, right? You got to put you on it. It's like we can get, and now we can go into a demonstration, do a routine, and look identical. But the minute that we break apart and do our own thing, we look like our own individual people. And my best friend Damon is here, he can attest. My name is Twinkle Toes. We was in the clubs. Because I get in the club and I start off at 9, they get off at dance floor till 2. But all I did was take what I learned from there and put it into the concert, the ball. Like, if the people that we were hanging out last night could see that. I'm dancing in the middle of the beat, but I'm still inside the actual count. Right? And then we learn from different people. So we have Mr. Smooth, we got Al Johnson in Baltimore, we got Devon Carter. As you can see, we all sitting there in Charlotte with Anthony. So I learned from, or we both learned from different instructors or influencers who are in the dance. And that's what helps us to stay creative, stay moving forward. And also, they give us appreciation by showing us, that we're doing it. This right here, this is when we actually won the 2016 Ballroom Explosion. Okay? So this was the first time that they ever had a group competition. And this was the time when we went to Charlotte for 2 or 3 times a week. Right? And we practiced. And, we would go through 75% of the routine. They would stop and say, don't look right, do it again. When nobody smiled, it was like, do it again. Do it again. Say it again. Do it again. But we learned from doing it. Now, during that time, I also wanted to show Ballroom Unity. These are the logo. This is the design I came up with. We had actually those T-shirts that we actually went to the Ballroom Explosion. So as you can see, you got what? 4 of the groups that are inside the opaque globe, right? So showing that we have spirit within other groups that we wanted to express it. Okay? And this was one of our big ones. This was DC Exchange, where we were actually showing, we did 4 different dances inside that routine. So we did Greystone, we did Detroit Urban Ballroom, we did Chicago Steppin', and we did a line dance, all in one routine. And see that dip that's at the end? Now that's called concentration. That's called trust. She laid out parallel. And you can see I'm looking forward. I'm not even looking at her. Because actually I had to pay attention to somebody else in the back so they didn't mess up. But, you know, we were able to put together and do that type of complexity. And then these are the folks that we partner with in the dance. This is in Atlanta. So we travel, Atlanta, Augusta, Aiken, South Carolina. Erica wanted us to come down and demonstrate for her people. We were Anthony in, who was that? Oh my God, Greenville, North Carolina. All right. And so these are just the examples of, you know, us being with our people, having to travel. And lastly, a 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. I always love that quote. We have taken the steps, we have walked the miles, and we still have a long way to go. And again, we appreciate you guys coming out. I wanted to give you a brief history of us, where we come from. And now it's time for the DJ to go ahead and drop that song. And this is an antithesis of the theme we put on the actual flyer. What was the theme we put on the flyer? Somebody can remember? Anybody know? Say what's that? Bump it so hard you're gonna sweat your what out? DJ, hit me with that song. Everybody get up. Let's go.